As Marcus Aurelius once profoundly stated, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. Think constantly on the changes of the elements into each other, for such thoughts wash away the dust of earthly life. Imagine life as a flowing river. When we focus on the past or future, it's like trying to hold water in our hands. It slips away, leaving us empty." The Stoics believed that by immersing ourselves in the river's current, we experience its full depth and richness. Have you ever felt the tranquility that comes from being completely absorbed in a task or moment? This state, often called flow, is where we tap into the secret of positive mind power, accessing creativity and joy that are otherwise obscured. As Socrates famously said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." By regularly examining ourselves, we become more aligned with our values and can steer our lives more deliberately. Imagine holding up a mirror not to your physical appearance but to your inner world. What would you see? Modern Stoic philosopher Donald Robertson emphasizes that self-awareness is crucial for emotional resilience. By understanding our triggers, desires, and fears, we gain the power to manage them more effectively. Self-reflection acts like a compass, guiding us toward our true north. It helps us identify patterns that may be hindering our progress, such as negative self-talk or unproductive habits. The Stoics believed that by knowing ourselves deeply, we could live more authentically and make choices that lead to lasting fulfillment. Lesson 1. The Alchemy of Thoughts, transforming negativity into strength. The Stoics teach that our thoughts are the architects of our reality. Have you considered how your perceptions shape your experiences? Epictetus, a revered Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." This emphasizes that events themselves are neutral. It's our interpretations that give them meaning. By transforming negative thoughts into positive ones, we can turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into lessons. Modern Stoic philosopher Massimo Pigliucci echoes this wisdom, reminding us that while we cannot control external events, we have absolute power over our responses. Do you allow external circumstances to dictate your inner peace? The Stoics encourage us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, thus empowering ourselves to navigate life's challenges with grace. Imagine your mind as a garden. Will you let weeds of negativity overrun it, or will you cultivate flowers of positivity? The Stoics believed that by tending to our inner world, we could achieve a state of tranquility unaffected by external turmoil. This mental cultivation transforms adversity into strength, much like alchemy turns base metals into gold. To practice this alchemy of thoughts in daily life, start by observing your internal dialogue. When faced with a negative thought, pause and ask yourself, is this perception helping or hindering me? Can I view this situation differently? By consciously reframing your thoughts, you begin to reshape your reality. For example, instead of seeing a traffic jam as an annoyance, view it as an opportunity for reflection or listening to a good audiobook. As we embrace the secret of positive mind power, we unlock a reservoir of inner strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoics believed that this realization is the first step toward true freedom. So will you choose to harness this power and transform your life from within? Each day, set aside a few moments to reflect on your thoughts. Keep a journal where you note down negative perceptions that arise. Then, consciously reframe them into positive or neutral statements. For instance, if you think, "I always mess things up," rephrase it to, "Everyone makes mistakes, and I can learn from this experience." By consistently practicing this reframing technique, you train your mind to default to positivity, gradually unlocking the secret power the Stoics cherished. Remember, the journey to mastering your mind begins with a single thought. The Stoics have handed us the keys. It's up to us to open the door. Are you ready to take that step and discover the limitless potential that lies within your own mind? Lesson 2. The Symphony of Inner Narratives, Orchestrating your thoughts for harmony. Have you ever wondered how the stories you tell yourself shape your reality? The Stoics believed that by mastering the narratives in our minds, we could unlock the secret of positive mind power. The Stoics teach that our minds are like grand theaters where narratives play out continuously. Have you noticed how a single thought can set the tone for your entire day? Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This highlights how the stories we tell ourselves can amplify our fears and doubts. By becoming aware of these internal narratives, we can rewrite them to reflect positivity and strength. Do you allow negative stories to control your destiny, or do you craft tales of resilience and hope? Modern Stoic thinkers like Ryan Holiday emphasize the power of perception in shaping our experiences. He suggests that obstacles are not roadblocks but stepping stones. Have you considered that your challenges might be the very catalysts for your growth? The Stoics encourage us to view life's trials as chapters in our personal epic, each one contributing to our hero's journey. By shifting our perspective, we turn adversities into adventures, much like a composer transforms dissonant notes into a beautiful symphony. Imagine your thoughts as musicians in an orchestra. When they play in discord, the result is chaos. When they are in harmony, they produce exquisite music. The Stoics believed that we have the power to conduct this orchestra, guiding our thoughts toward unity and coherence. Have you taken the conductor's baton in your own life? By orchestrating our inner narratives, we align ourselves with a higher frequency of positivity and purpose. To practice orchestrating your thoughts for harmony, start by identifying recurring negative narratives. Write them down and challenge their validity. Ask yourself, is this story true, or is it a product of fear? Replace these tales with empowering ones that reflect your true potential. For instance, if you often think, "I am not good enough," reframe it to, "I am continually growing and improving." By consciously directing your internal dialogue, you create a symphony of positivity that resonates throughout your life. As we embrace the secret of positive mind power, we learn that we are both the authors and protagonists of our stories. Epictetus reminded us, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This teaches us that true wealth and happiness come from within, not from external circumstances. Are you ready to write a narrative of abundance and contentment, free from the desires that chain you? Dedicate time each day to a practice called narrative journaling. In this journal, recount a challenging event you faced and rewrite the story with a positive spin. Focus on the lessons learned and the strengths gained. For example, if you didn't get the job you wanted, instead of dwelling on disappointment, narrate how this experience opened doors to new opportunities or personal growth. By regularly engaging in this exercise, you train your mind to default to empowering narratives, unlocking the secret power the Stoics so highly valued. Remember, the symphony of your life is composed by the narratives you choose to tell. The Stoics have shown us that by orchestrating our thoughts, we can create harmony within and manifest it in the world around us. Will you pick up the conductor's baton and lead your thoughts toward a masterpiece? Lesson 3. The Compass of Inner Wisdom. Navigating life with Stoic insight. The Stoics teach that every individual possesses an inner compass, a source of wisdom that can guide us through life's tempests. Have you tapped into this reservoir of insight? Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." This emphasizes the importance of self-reflection in discovering our innate wisdom. By turning inward, we can find clarity and purpose that external influences often cloud. Do you take the time to consult your inner compass, or do you let external circumstances dictate your direction? Modern Stoic thinkers like Donald Robertson highlight the relevance of Stoicism in contemporary life, emphasizing cognitive behavioral strategies rooted in Stoic philosophy. He suggests that by examining our beliefs, we can alter our emotional responses and behaviors. Have you considered that your reactions are shaped by your underlying beliefs? The Stoics encourage us to scrutinize these beliefs, shedding those that hinder us and nurturing those that empower us. This process is akin to calibrating our compass, ensuring it points true north toward our goals and values. Imagine embarking on a journey without a map or compass, every step uncertain, every choice a gamble. The Stoics believed that life need not be so aimless. By accessing our inner wisdom, we gain a reliable guide that helps us navigate challenges and make decisions aligned with our true selves. Have you ever made a choice that felt intuitively right, even if it defied logic? That's your inner compass at work, steering you toward authenticity and fulfillment. To harness the compass of inner wisdom, begin by cultivating a practice of mindfulness and self-inquiry. Set aside time each day to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Ask yourself, what drives my decisions? Are they rooted in fear, desire, or genuine understanding? By becoming aware of these motivations, you can align your choices with your core values. This alignment creates a sense of harmony and purpose, fueling the positive mind power the Stoics revered. As we embrace the secret of positive mind power, we recognize that wisdom is not solely the domain of scholars and sages. Epictetus reminds us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This teaches that true freedom and wisdom come from self-mastery, a journey inward to understand and refine our character. Are you willing to embark on this inner voyage to unlock the wisdom that lies within? Incorporate a daily meditation practice focused on self-reflection. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and take deep breaths, centering your attention inward. Reflect on a specific situation from your day, perhaps a challenge or decision you faced. Gently examine your thoughts and feelings surrounding it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Did my actions align with my values? Over time, this practice sharpens your inner compass, enhancing your ability to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and confidence. Remember, the journey toward wisdom is a continuous one, filled with discoveries at every turn. The Stoics have illuminated the path, but it is up to us to walk it. Will you take the first step today, trusting in your inner compass to guide you toward a life of purpose and positivity? Lesson 4. The anchor of presence, grounding yourself in the here and now. The Stoics teach that the present moment is all we truly possess. Have you considered how much of your life is spent dwelling on what was or worrying about what might be? Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, observed, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This highlights the futility of anchoring our peace of mind to times beyond our control. By grounding ourselves in the present, we can experience life more fully and harness the positive mind power that comes with focused awareness. Do you seize the day, or do you let it slip through your fingers while your mind wanders elsewhere? Modern Stoic philosophers like Sharon Labelle emphasize the importance of mindfulness in Stoicism. She suggests that being present allows us to respond to life's events with clarity and intention. Have you noticed that when you're fully engaged in the moment, you make better decisions and feel more connected? The Stoics encourage us to cultivate presence as a means to reduce suffering caused by rumination and anticipation. This practice is akin to an anchor that keeps us steady amidst the shifting tides of thoughts and emotions. Imagine life as a flowing river. When we focus on the past or future, it's like trying to hold water in our hands. It slips away, leaving us empty. The Stoics believed that by immersing ourselves in the river's current, we experience its full depth and richness. Have you ever felt the tranquility that comes from being completely absorbed in a task or moment? This state, often called flow, is where we tap into the secret of positive mind power, accessing creativity and joy that are otherwise obscured. To anchor yourself in the present, begin by practicing mindfulness throughout your day. Pay attention to your senses, the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures around you. When your mind drifts to past regrets or future anxieties, gently bring it back to the present. Ask yourself, what is happening right now? How can I fully engage with this moment? This intentional focus grounds you, reducing stress and enhancing your ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. As we embrace the secret of positive mind power through presence, we discover a profound sense of peace. Epictetus advised, "Don't let the force of an impression when it first hits you knock you off your feet. Just say to it, 'Hold on a moment. Let me see who you are and what you represent.'" This teaches us to pause and observe our thoughts and feelings without being swept away. Are you willing to pause and truly experience life as it unfolds, moment by moment? Incorporate a simple mindfulness exercise into your daily routine. Choose an activity you do regularly, like drinking your morning coffee or tea, and dedicate that time to being fully present. Notice the aroma, the warmth of the cup in your hands, the taste on your tongue. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to the sensory experience. By practicing mindfulness in everyday tasks, you strengthen your ability to remain present throughout the day, unlocking the positive mind power the Stoics so greatly valued. Remember, the present moment is a gift, one that is constantly renewed with each passing second. The Stoics have shown us that by anchoring ourselves in the here and now, we can navigate life's challenges with serenity and joy. Will you unwrap this gift and discover the power that lies within the present? Lesson 5. The liberation from attachments, freeing your mind to soar. Have you ever felt trapped by invisible chains, holding you back from reaching your true potential? The Stoics believed that by releasing ourselves from these self-imposed limitations, we could unlock the secret of positive mind power. The Stoics teach that attachments to external possessions and outcomes can shackle our minds. Have you considered how your desires and aversions might be limiting your freedom? Epictetus proclaimed, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This suggests that true wealth and happiness come not from accumulating more, but from needing less. By letting go of our attachments, we liberate ourselves from the constant pursuit of external validation and material gain. Do you find yourself chasing after things that ultimately leave you unfulfilled? Modern Stoic philosopher Massimo Pigliucci echoes this sentiment, emphasizing that clinging to external factors leads to unnecessary suffering. He asks us to focus on cultivating virtue and character instead of accumulating wealth or status. Have you noticed that the more you desire, the more restless you become? The Stoics encourage us to detach from these cravings, much like a bird frees itself from a cage, allowing us to soar to new heights of contentment and inner strength. Imagine your mind as a hot air balloon. Attachments are the sandbags weighing it down. The more you release, the higher you ascend. The Stoics believed that by shedding these weights, we could rise above the clouds of worry and discontent. Have you ever experienced the lightness that comes from letting go of something you once thought you couldn't live without? This liberation is the essence of positive mind power, enabling us to navigate life with grace and ease. To practice liberation from attachments, begin by identifying areas where you cling too tightly. Is it material possessions, relationships, or expectations of how life should be? Reflect on why these attachments hold such power over you. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year, 5 years, or at the end of my life? By gaining perspective, you can start to loosen the grip these attachments have on you. This doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities or loved ones, but approaching them with a sense of freedom rather than dependency. As we embrace the secret of positive mind power through liberation, we find a profound sense of peace. Seneca advised, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." This encourages us to live fully in the present, unburdened by the weight of attachments. Are you willing to release these chains and allow your mind to soar freely? Incorporate a practice called selective minimalism into your life. Choose one area, such as your wardrobe, digital devices, or social commitments, and simplify it. For example, declutter your closet by donating clothes you no longer wear. Notice how letting go of excess possessions makes you feel. Extend this practice to intangible attachments by setting healthy boundaries in relationships or adjusting unrealistic expectations. By gradually releasing attachments, you create space for positivity and growth, unlocking the secret power the Stoics cherished. Remember, freedom begins in the mind. The Stoics have shown us that by liberating ourselves from attachments, we can experience true joy and fulfillment. Will you take the bold step to free your mind and let your spirit soar? Lesson 6. The Art of Resilience. Building mental toughness through Stoic practices. The Stoics teach that resilience is not just about enduring hardships, but about using them as opportunities for growth. Have you considered how your challenges could be forging you into a stronger individual? Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This suggests that adversity is a necessary ingredient for developing mental toughness. By embracing challenges rather than avoiding them, we tap into the positive mind power that propels us forward. Do you view obstacles as insurmountable barriers or as stepping stones toward personal development? Modern Stoic philosopher Ryan Holiday emphasizes the concept of "the obstacle is the way," inspired by Marcus Aurelius's teachings. He suggests that every impediment can advance action if we choose to see it that way. Have you ever turned a setback into a comeback by shifting your perspective? The Stoics encourage us to reframe our difficulties, recognizing that resilience is built through facing and overcoming challenges. This mindset transforms trials into triumphs, much like a blacksmith tempers steel and fire to make it stronger. Imagine yourself as a tree rooted deeply in the ground. When strong winds blow, you don't break but bend, adapting to the forces against you. The Stoics believed that by developing resilience, we become flexible yet unyielding in our core principles. Have you noticed that resilient people aren't devoid of difficulties but are adept at navigating through them? This resilience is the essence of positive mind power, enabling us to maintain composure and purpose amid chaos. To cultivate resilience, begin by embracing the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils. This involves mentally rehearsing potential challenges to lessen their impact when they occur. Ask yourself, what obstacles might I face, and how can I prepare to handle them? By anticipating difficulties, you equip yourself with strategies to overcome them, reducing fear and anxiety. This proactive approach strengthens your mental toughness, much like training prepares an athlete for competition. As we unlock the secret of positive mind power through resilience, we find that challenges no longer deter us but motivate us. Epictetus taught, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. This inspires us to view hardships as opportunities to demonstrate and enhance our inner strength. Are you willing to face your storms head-on, knowing they will forge you into a more resilient individual? Incorporate a daily resilience-building exercise called Challenge Journaling. Each evening, write down a challenge you faced during the day, no matter how small. Reflect on how you responded and identify what you learned from the experience. Consider how you can apply this lesson in the future. For example, if you dealt with a difficult colleague, note how you maintained composure and what strategies helped you navigate the situation. Over time, this practice reinforces your ability to handle adversity, unlocking the positive mind power the Stoics esteemed. Remember, resilience is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. The Stoics have provided timeless wisdom on building mental toughness. Will you apply these teachings and transform your challenges into catalysts for growth? Lesson 7. The Alchemy of Gratitude. Transmuting life's trials into treasures. Have you ever felt like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, wondering how to lighten the load and find true contentment? The Stoics believed that by practicing gratitude we could unlock the secret of positive mind power and transform our perception of life. The Stoics teach that gratitude is a powerful tool that can change our entire outlook on life. Have you considered how acknowledging the good in your life could amplify your happiness? Seneca wrote, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." This emphasizes that gratitude elevates our spirit and fosters inner peace. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance. Do you often find yourself dwelling on your problems instead of appreciating your blessings? Modern Stoic philosopher Massimo Pigliucci highlights that gratitude helps us accept the world as it is, aligning us with reality rather than fighting against it. He suggests that by being thankful for both the positives and negatives, we can maintain emotional equilibrium. Have you ever thought about expressing gratitude for your challenges, recognizing them as opportunities for growth? The Stoics encourage us to see every experience as a gift, much like an alchemist who transforms base metals into gold through the power of transmutation. Imagine life as a vast landscape filled with both mountains and valleys. Gratitude allows us to appreciate the beauty of both the peaks and the lows. The Stoics believed that by cultivating a grateful heart, we open ourselves to joy and contentment that are not dependent on external circumstances. Have you noticed that grateful people often radiate positivity, attracting more reasons to be thankful? This is the essence of positive mind power, where gratitude acts as a magnet for abundance. To practice the alchemy of gratitude, begin by incorporating thankfulness into your daily routine. Start and end your day by reflecting on things you are grateful for, no matter how small. Ask yourself, what lessons have I learned from my hardships? How have they shaped me into a better person? By acknowledging the value in all experiences, you transmute trials into treasures, enriching your life in unexpected ways. As we embrace the secret of positive mind power through gratitude, we find that our perspective shifts dramatically. Epictetus advised, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This teaches us to focus on our assets rather than our deficits. Are you willing to adopt an attitude of gratitude and witness how it transforms your life? Implement a gratitude journal practice. Each evening, write down 3 things you are grateful for that day. Include at least one challenge you faced, noting what you learned or how it benefited you. For example, I'm grateful for the difficult conversation with my colleague because it taught me patience and improved our understanding. Over time, this exercise trains your mind to seek out the positive in every situation, unlocking the secret power the Stoics esteemed. Remember, gratitude is the alchemy that turns life's lead into gold. The Stoics have shown us that by appreciating all aspects of our journey, we can cultivate a profound sense of fulfillment. Will you choose to wear the lens of gratitude and discover the hidden treasures in your life? Lesson 8. The Dance with Destiny. Embracing fate to unlock positive mind power. Have you ever felt at odds with the twists and turns of life, wishing you could harmonize with the flow of the universe? The Stoics believed that by embracing our fate, we could unlock the secret of positive mind power and find profound peace within ourselves. The Stoics teach that fate is not an opposing force but a guiding companion on our life's journey. Have you considered how accepting your fate could liberate you from resistance and struggle? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together." This emphasizes the importance of embracing our circumstances and relationships as essential components of our path. By aligning ourselves with fate, we tap into a positive mind power that flows effortlessly with the rhythms of the universe. Do you find yourself fighting against what life presents, or are you willing to move in harmony with it? Modern Stoic philosopher Ryan Holiday discusses the concept of amor fati, or love of fate, as a cornerstone of resilience and happiness. He suggests that by loving everything that happens, we turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. Have you ever transformed a challenging situation by accepting it fully? The Stoics encourage us to see fate as a partner in our growth, much like a dance partner who leads us into new and exciting movements. This perspective shifts our mindset from resistance to acceptance, unlocking a wellspring of positive energy. Imagine life as a grand dance floor where fate plays the music and leads the steps. When we resist, we stumble and feel out of sync. When we embrace the dance, we move gracefully and joyfully. The Stoics believe that by loving our fate, we become co-creators of our destiny, fully engaged in the choreography of our lives. Have you noticed that when you accept situations as they are, you experience a sense of peace and clarity? This is the essence of positive mind power that comes from dancing with destiny. To practice embracing your fate, start by observing areas in your life where you experience resistance or frustration. Ask yourself, what am I resisting, and why? Can I find a way to accept and even love this aspect of my life? By shifting your perspective, You transform resistance into acceptance, much like changing a discordant note into a harmonious one in a melody. This doesn't mean passive resignation, but active engagement with what is, using it as a platform for growth and fulfillment. As we unlock the secret of positive mind power through embracing fate, we find that life unfolds with greater ease and joy. Epictetus advised, "Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go smoothly." This teaches us that aligning our desires with reality brings serenity and empowers us to navigate life's complexities. Are you ready to release the need to control every outcome and trust in the unfolding of your unique journey? Incorporate the practice of amor fati affirmations into your daily routine. Each morning, reflect on a situation that you find challenging or undesirable. Write down a positive affirmation embracing this aspect of your life. For example, "I embrace my current job situation as an opportunity to learn and grow," or "I accept this period of solitude as a time for self-discovery." Repeat this affirmation throughout the day whenever resistance arises. Over time, this practice trains your mind to love your fate, transforming obstacles into allies and unlocking the positive mind power the Stoics esteemed. Remember, the dance with destiny is a lifelong journey of harmony and acceptance. The Stoics have shown us that by embracing our fate, we align ourselves with the natural flow of the universe, experiencing deeper fulfillment and joy. Will you take the Stoics' hand and join in this graceful dance, unlocking the secret power within? Lesson 9. The Harmony of Virtue. Aligning actions with inner values. Have you ever wondered how aligning your actions with your deepest values could transform your life? The Stoics believed that living in accordance with virtue is the ultimate secret to unlocking positive mind power. The Stoics teach that virtue is the highest good and the foundation of true happiness. Have you considered how your daily actions reflect or conflict with your core values? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This emphasizes the importance of embodying virtue rather than merely contemplating it. By aligning our actions with our inner values, we create a harmonious existence that fuels positive mind power. Do you strive to live authentically according to your principles, or do you find yourself compromising them? Modern Stoic philosopher Donald Robertson highlights that virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance are essential for psychological resilience and fulfillment. He suggests that practicing these virtues helps us navigate life's challenges with integrity and confidence. Have you noticed that when you act in alignment with your values, you experience a sense of peace and satisfaction? The Stoics encourage us to make virtue the compass guiding our decisions, much like a lighthouse leading a ship safely to shore amidst a storm. Imagine your life as a musical composition. When your actions align with your values, the notes flow seamlessly, creating a beautiful melody. The Stoics believed that virtue harmonizes the discord within us, allowing us to live with clarity and purpose. Have you ever felt the inner turmoil that arises when you act against your better judgment? This dissonance disrupts our peace of mind, whereas virtuous actions restore balance and unlock positive mind power. To align your actions with your inner values, begin by clearly defining what those values are. Reflect on qualities you admire and aspire to embody. Ask yourself, what virtues are most important to me? How can I incorporate them into my daily life? By setting specific intentions to act according to these virtues, you create a roadmap for consistent, value-driven behavior. This conscious effort strengthens your character and enhances your sense of self-worth. As we embrace the secret of positive mind power through virtuous living, we discover a deeper sense of fulfillment. Seneca advised, "The good things which belong to prosperity are to be wished, but the good things that belong to adversity are to be admired." This teaches us that practicing virtue is commendable in all circumstances, enriching our lives regardless of external conditions. Are you willing to commit to a path of virtue and experience the transformative power it brings? Implement a virtue of the day practice. Each morning, choose one virtue you wish to focus on, such as patience, honesty, or kindness. Set a clear intention to embody this virtue throughout the day. For example, if you select patience, you might practice active listening and remain calm in frustrating situations. In the evening, reflect on how you incorporated the virtue and what impact it had on your interactions and mindset. Over time, this practice deepens your commitment to virtuous living, unlocking the positive mind power the Stoics esteemed. Remember, virtue is not an abstract concept but a way of life that infuses our actions with meaning and integrity. The Stoics have shown us that by aligning our actions with our inner values, we create harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. Will you take the step to live virtuously and unlock the profound power that lies within? Lesson 10. The Mastery of Mindfulness, Unlocking the Full Potential of Your Inner Power. Have you ever felt that your mind is a vast, untapped reservoir of potential waiting to be unleashed? The Stoics believed that by understanding and harnessing this inner power, we could unlock the ultimate secret of positive mind power. The Stoics teach that mindfulness is the key to accessing the deepest layers of our consciousness. Have you considered how being fully present in each moment could transform your life? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This highlights the profound peace and clarity that mindfulness brings. By focusing our attention on the present, we free ourselves from the burdens of past regrets and future anxieties. Do you often find your mind wandering, missing the richness of the here and now? Modern Stoic philosopher Jon Kabat-Zinn emphasizes that mindfulness is about paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. He suggests that this practice enhances our ability to respond rather than react to life's challenges. Have you noticed that when you approach situations with mindful awareness, you make more thoughtful decisions? The Stoics encourage us to cultivate this state of consciousness, much like a skilled artist honing their craft to create a masterpiece. Imagine your mind as a still lake. When undisturbed, it reflects the world with perfect clarity. The ripples of distracting thoughts and emotions distort this reflection, obscuring our understanding. The Stoics believe that mindfulness calms these ripples, allowing us to see reality as it truly is. Have you ever experienced moments of profound clarity when your mind is quiet and focused? This is the essence of positive mind power that emerges from mastering mindfulness. To unlock the full potential of your inner power through mindfulness, begin by incorporating regular meditation into your daily routine. Set aside time each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath, observing thoughts as they arise and letting them pass without attachment. Ask yourself, what sensations do I feel in my body? What emotions are present? By becoming an observer of your inner world, you gain insight and control over your mind. This practice strengthens your ability to remain centered amidst external chaos, much like an anchor holding a ship steady in turbulent waters. As we embrace the secret of positive mind power through mindfulness, we discover an expansive realm of possibilities within ourselves. Epictetus advised, "First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This teaches us that self-awareness is the foundation of purposeful action. Are you willing to delve into the depths of your consciousness to unlock the treasures that lie within? Implement a daily mindfulness meditation practice. Begin with just 10 minutes each morning. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably with your back straight and close your eyes. Focus your attention on your breath, the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils, the rise and fall of your chest. When thoughts or distractions arise, gently acknowledge them without judgment and bring your focus back to your breath. Over time, gradually increase your meditation duration. This consistent practice enhances your ability to remain present and centered throughout the day, unlocking the positive mind power the Stoics esteemed. Remember, mindfulness is not a destination, but a continuous journey of self-discovery and growth. The Stoics have illuminated the path toward mastering our minds, revealing that the greatest power lies within. Will you commit to cultivating mindfulness and unlocking the full potential of your inner power? The Stoics have equipped us with timeless wisdom to navigate life's complexities. Each lesson has been a stepping stone, guiding us toward greater self-mastery, resilience, and fulfillment. The power to shape your reality resides within your mind, now enriched with the insights of ancient and modern Stoic philosophers. Embrace these teachings, practice them diligently, and watch as your life transforms in extraordinary ways. Are you ready to step forward, empowered by the mastery of mindfulness into a future of limitless possibilities?